Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to build million-dollar businesses without sacrificing their health, relationships, or happiness, who understand that in order to build their empire, they need a solid foundation, and that the more they are thriving, the more their business is thriving too. This show brings you the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist turned mindset and high performance coach for entrepreneurs, and I help you get wired for success. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. And my guest today is Teresa McBratney, a successful entrepreneur and spiritual business mentor with over 25 years of helping hundreds of entrepreneurs create a business they love that is centered around their purpose. She's the creator of the New Divine Human, a conscious evolution brand for entrepreneurs who are creating a higher vision of prosperity in the world. Teresa helps them uncover their prime purpose so they can easily 2 to 5 times their income, fill their office with dream clients, and amplify their impact in the world. I mean, doesn't that sound awesome? Who would say no to that, right? Welcome, Teresa, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to give you guys a quick update on my Feel the Magic challenge. In case you missed the last update, the challenge is to drink the Magic Mind productivity shot for 30 days in a row and to document the results so that you can follow along. I'm now 5 days into the challenge and I wanted to share what's changed so far. So before I started, I'd say I'd struggled with maintaining focus, especially with so many distractions around and so many things pulling me in different directions. What can I say? As a newly single working mom, things can get messy, but that's another story. So back to the challenge. Right from the start till about day 4, the increase in energy and focus were the things that stood out to me most. But starting from, say, maybe day 4, I also started to feel much calmer at the same time. Must be the adaptogens kicking in. It feels great because I can get done more without feeling stressed and overwhelmed all the time. What I really appreciate about Magic Mind is that it is not just about a quick energy fix. It's a blend of adaptogens and other natural ingredients that help my body adapt to stress and keep me calm, while also enhancing my focus. So ingredients like L-theanine and ashwagandha work together to provide a balanced state of calm and alertness. It's amazing how much easier it is to stay on task and feel at ease at the same time. So if you're interested in trying it out, head to magicmind.com/ClaudiaG and use code ClaudiaG20 to get up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. Let's do this together. Now, without further ado, let's jump into today's episode. Teresa, you describe yourself as a spiritual business mentor. Has spirituality always been a part of your life? I mean, did you grow up in a spiritual family, or is that something that you discovered along the way through your own experiences?
It has been a part of my life from my very early years. I've just always been a spiritual person. And when I was very young, 17 years old, I did have an awakening I was doing yoga and meditation and awakened and had some mystical experiences at that time. So,
can you tell us more about that? I mean, that sounds super interesting.
Oh, sure. Gosh, I was so young. I was a full-time dancer in school, creative artist, and was doing yoga and meditation and was able to access stillness and calm the mind. So when I was able to, when I meditated, I could see my thoughts arise like clouds and watch them dissipate as well. So there was no attachment
Mm.
to the mind and thoughts. It was a pure blissful state of being. So yeah, that was my awakening, and it remains with you your whole life.
Wow. So you became the watcher.
Yes, absolutely. Observation, detachment, and observation were the key lessons, and not going around liking and disliking things all day long, but just observing them.
Mm. Can you
And
tell us more? Yeah, sure. Sorry, go on.
I think it frees you up. It
Yeah,
frees up the spirit to move through you.
right. Less resistance,
Yes,
more
yes,
flow.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Openness. Yes.
I'm so curious. I mean, can you describe what your flavor of spirituality looks like? How would you describe it? So we've already discussed being the watcher, being detached. What else? What is it?
Well, what I have come to find out through a business career and a little longer life than a lot of people for at the moment. I'm a little bit older than people. A lot of people in the online space and so forth. Um, it came down to removing conditioning. I actually had more conditioning come up through the process of building a business with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I had to work through in the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. So it's a long-term process. It's a lifelong process. But my conditioning from childhood, which we all have,
Sure.
was to people please and
Mm-hmm.
to fawn
Yep.
and to go along to get along rather than determining my own way and my own expression and my own. I didn't realize it until it came up, and it was actually blocking my ability to build a business on my own. I was able to build a business with a partner, but was not able to I was not able to build a business on my own. He had health issues and now has cognitive issues. I care for him now. Um,
That must be.
and so I said, well, I build a business on my own. I can do this. I've done this. Right. And it's like, no, it didn't come up. It was interesting how our energy worked together to create the success. And so I had to do another deep dive into who I was and what my gifts and talents were and my purpose and how I looked at our success to observe it and determine what made it work. And it was understanding how the energies were working together and then how I could have my own energy and go about it on my own. So that's been the big process.
Yeah, I think that's really tough for. I mean, it sounds like maybe it's some kind of codependency in the beginning, like in the
Absolutely.
partnership,
Absolutely.
and
There was there was terrible codependency.
yeah,
I mean, it was terrible, and I did not realize it
right.
until it came time to. When I realized it, of course, it's time to change it. So,
Absolutely. Now, you already said that you built this very successful seven-figure business with your partner. Can you tell us a little more about that business? What was it all about, and what was it like growing it to seven figures?
well, we had a very dreamy business. It grew mostly on inbound leads. It was his idea, and we met late in life, and he had not had success until he met me. And when he had this idea and he knew the market, and so we went out to the market with this idea, and it caught on. And we actually delivered marketing tools and newsletters to the housing industry, real estate agents, mortgage people, title insurance. And they used it to market themselves. So there was a personalization area. And then later on, we built a proprietary email marketing system. This was early, this was like in the early 2000s. Before a lot of the automated stuff has become available, and really before the larger wave of social media. I mean, email was still kind of a hot thing, So we built out this business, and we built it on reoccurring, a subscription revenue model, reoccurring income, and it just grew steadily, like 15-20% a year over year, 15 years. And our tools were out in the field, and sales teams of these larger companies would see other people using our tools, and then they would call us, and because they had to have it. They didn't, because of the competitive advantage. But it was really, our marketing was all based relationship marketing. And that was also a bit of a new, it was a support of a newer idea at that time. And so we did that for a long time, and it was very stable, and it had regular growth. And we had clients that stayed with us 7-10 years. When I finally closed the business, we had one client that had been with us from the very beginning. It was like 20 something years. So it was a dream business. The model worked really well, and we didn't struggle with it. It grew on its own, and that was really fun.
I
really
bet
nice
it was.
Yeah, really nice to experience.
I mean, it sounds like you were some of the original online marketing pioneers.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. It was innovative for the time. And then, of course, technology came in, and people moved on to different ways of marketing. And we had some stay, but not everybody. It was good. It was really good.
I mean, you said it was good, but it doesn't sound like your heart was really in it. That's
absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
So
my heart was in my partner.
So
and
what
doing with him, for him, etc.
Right. So would you say it was kind of like people pleasing to success? So you tried to.
Yeah, it was. I actually enabled his success, is what I've come to find out here later on through my own journey of self-discovery, has been that I am here for the purpose of helping other people achieve their aspirations.
That sounds like codependency again.
Does it? It's actually a drawing out process of the other person.
Yeah.
And that's the spiritual stuff comes in there, because very often when we do come into a higher frequency or expanded consciousness, our desires change. What we want changes. And I'm very ambitious, don't get me wrong. But I do help other ambitious people, for sure, to realize their highest aspirations.
Yeah. So why do you believe that spirituality is such a superpower for entrepreneurs?
I think it comes from the deconditioning side of it. And so when you're deconditioning, then you're busting limitations. You're busting karma, as I like to say.
Mm.
So I think that plays a big part in what's available to you and what you believe is available to you and what you believe you can do and how you see yourself.
Yeah. As an example, can you talk to me about your inner programming while you were building that business? What did you feel that you needed to do or what you should be doing? And how did you react to your own internal dialogue? And bonus points, if you can tell me whose voice you heard in your head. For instance, for me, that inner critic often has the voice of my dad.
Hmm. So, and you're speaking about my first business.
Yes.
My first business, I think that I took on the voice of my partner
Mm.
and
Mhm.
doing things his way and doing things according to how he thinks things should be done.
And
That's
how did that make you feel? How did you react to that when you noticed that?
well, it took a long time for me to notice it.
Mm.
Even with all of the spirituality that I've been engaged in, it took me a while to realize it. Um, Many years. And when I did, I dropped it. I dropped it. I questioned it. I dropped it. It was not coming from me.
Mm.
And that, I stopped fitting into that mold and started discovering mine.
It's super interesting. I mean, what was your upbringing like? If we just can go back in time, were your parents quite strict and conservative, or what was it like for you as a child?
My parents were not strict with me. I was the youngest of 5 children.
Mm.
And so by the time I came along, my parents had relaxed quite a bit. And my mother, there was a very loving household and a very loving community. However, I did have older siblings that were raised with more criticism and um, restriction, I think. And I think through them,
Mm.
I I was looking to please the older brothers and sisters, or really kind of try to avoid getting caught in negative attention from them. If
Mm.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like kind of sidestepping them, getting around them, or just trying to keep peace in the household because um, they were raised with that and had that conditioning. And I think that I was always trying to avoid it. I had a beautiful relationship with my parents because by the
Mm.
time I came through the family, they had relaxed and changed, and it was a different situation. So um, I think some of it got passed down through siblings, and I didn't want to catch it, meaning like catch the yelling or the
Mm.
criticism or the that type of attention. So I was always escaping attention.
So the avoidant
Oh,
strategy.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Champion avoidance strategy.
Yeah. And isn't it funny how we usually react in one of two ways to our upbringing? We either fall in line and become just like our parents, or we rebel and we try to become the opposite. So if you think about it like that, would you say you're rather the good girl or the rebel?
Oh, I was definitely a good girl. Definitely a good girl. And a little bit of a perfectionist streak, and very, very sensitive and very, very intelligent. Always the
Mm.
smartest girl in school. And that, I didn't have a lot of support at home. I was kind of left to my own devices. And that a very loving household, but it was, there were limitations. My mother did not drive. She was an immigrant from Ireland. She she was just dearly beloved in the community that we were in a little Catholic parish on the east side of San Jose in Silicon Valley. So I was raised around that. I saw everything coming up around me in Silicon Valley. Things changed rapidly when I was growing up. And so I went for that. I left the church at 14, understanding that it was a political institution, but did that diminish my love for Jesus, Mary, and Joseph? No. My spiritual teachers and my spiritual background, it's inclusive of all faiths, because there may be many roads, but there is one divine. And but religiosity isn't a part of it. It's right. It's consciousness expansion. And so after, when I was very young, I left the church. I did not consciously participate that, and I started studying Eastern philosophies and practices to expand my consciousness, and still today.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you help your clients find direction and purpose. So I'm curious, how did you uncover yours, or did you just decide one day?
I don't think things happen for me when things happen, they do happen rapidly, but it's like the 10-year overnight success.
Right.
That's how things happen for me. So, how I found my purpose was through a lot of study. I'm very studious by nature, and a lot of reflection, a lot of observation, and just a lot of tuning in, returning to my core. I do have, there's wonderful spiritual tools that are available now. I consider them spiritual tools, the human design and gene keys. And that's been very helpful to get more specificity. Because what happens when you're expanding your consciousness, it's not specific, it's not individuated. And, you achieve a certain amount of enlightenment and you're like, what's next? There's nothing there. You have to understand your own energies and what you're here to do. And human design and gene keys, the synthesis of that can help you understand that more deeply within yourself.
Okay, so for those entrepreneurs out there who might still be struggling to find their purpose, is that what you would recommend, or do you have any other actionable tips that you can share on how they can define their purpose?
Oh, I think that I can help them excavate their purpose of their through a reading. I can do a reading. I can do a human design gene key synthesis reading for purpose specifically, and then it's incorporated into their business. And so it's like their human design and their business design. There's an energetic or a spiritual component to that I can help them become aware of. So that's one way to go, and they can totally study. The gene key system is large, and I've been doing it for about 7 years, and it is a great idea to look at it and to study it and to come to understand it, and to do that with a specific focus of your purpose. And you can do that through the incarnation cross. And what I found was that it's very, very helpful to have some of the deconditioning already done, some of the
Mm.
spiritual work already done in order for these tools for human design and gene keys to be much, much more effective.
So for someone who has not done any of the spiritual work, where would they even start?
I am in the process right now of building a YouTube channel for exactly that reason.
Yeah. See.
And it will
Perfect.
reflect my time. Yeah. I mean, you're so perceptive and intuitive, Claudia. I just love it.
Yeah,
You're
I'm an
just
empath.
you're on it. You're on it, girl. I love it. um, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because really you can do that on your own, and really truly it is it's free. It's free. So I want to share what I know through all of the books. And I did a lot of I studied with my spiritual heritage, my lineage is in Eastern Indian philosophy. And there's a small Southern Indian school called Oneness University. And I studied very intensely with them while I was going through this transformation from partnered business to solo business and rediscovering myself. And I was 5 years studying and doing processes with Oneness University. And oneness is the gold standard in spirituality. And really simply, that just means being in harmony with yourself and having the full, complete self-acceptance and deconditioning, deprogramming. And it goes very deep, and it's permanent, and it's wonderful, and it's beautiful. And so I'm going to be doing content on that. So where to start for your audience? I would start with taking even a few minutes a day and becoming quiet and just being. Sometimes that's a challenge for folks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes just being for 5 minutes. And if you can't do 5 minutes, start with 20 breaths. How I started when I was very young was counting 300 breaths.
Wow.
But you start with 20. And if you can do like a little breath thing every day where you're observing your breath, the inhale and the exhale, just observing it, not altering it, just observing it. And start with 20 and work your way up. And part of the challenge of that is if you lose track or fall asleep, or you just start again and be patient with yourself.
Yeah, that's always a good thing, and something that most of us need to learn. And I think another thing that's fair to say is that a lot of entrepreneurs out there are workaholics.
Yes,
So to some extent, that probably really helps them get their business off the ground because someone's got to do the work. That said, there most likely comes a point in a successful entrepreneur's life when they discover that more work just does not necessarily equal better results. So can you speak to getting out of the hard work paradigm?
absolutely. I have never worked full time in my life, even when we had the previous business, and I built my business primarily to work part time. Always, I've never worked full time in my life. I don't want to work hard. I never have. It's just not part of who I am. And what happens in the hard work paradigm is that there's an ineffectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the work is not being effective. So you have to learn how to make your work effective. And sometimes that takes stepping back and being guided a little bit, or having maybe an intuitive hit around it, or not just rushing in and doing something. It's like throwing money at a problem. You want to derive what your true intentions are. What am I really trying to do here? And when you're tapped into what it is that you're really trying to accomplish, then the solution of what you need to do, what your part in that creation, what you need to do will come to you. So I think that it's right now, like for the workaholic, for the someone that's working really hard, it's like put the work down or step away from the work, put it down and step away, because it's dangerous. It's like it's dangerous to you to be working so hard. You don't need to be working so hard. You just need to be clear on what you're trying to accomplish, and the way will open to you.
Yeah, that is so true. That said, I think for them it feels like taking a break is dangerous. It doesn't feel like the work they're doing is dangerous because it's familiar. It feels like what they've always done. But
Right.
taking a break, that feels super dangerous because they might lose their edge.
I understand that. I understand that. They can reframe it and approach it intelligently. Because what's happening is they're letting their minds rule over them. They're letting their minds tell them what to do. And the mind is saying, work harder, because if you don't, then you're not going to get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. And the mind is like a little dictator that is doing this to you. So you need to drop into your heart and find another way. You need to drop into your heart and say, this is my work of understanding this and being clear about it and going about it in a way that's conscious, and letting the other go, letting the mind go, not being ruled by the mind. The mind is a very poor master.
True.
It's a great tool. It's a fabulous tool. And I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a super learner. I love it. And as entrepreneurs, we learn what we need to do. So you need to approach it more with like curiosity and learning of, what do I need to do here? So you need to drop into your being, because all of the doing that's going to be effective is going to come from your being.
Right. So
The disconnect in society is being disconnected from the being. That's the spiritual solution, if you will, is helping you be and be okay with 5 minutes of time that you're not doing anything but being, and that can extend, and then it clears the mind so that the thoughts that you have come in for your business, for your life, for your aspirations, they are more powerful.
Don't let your mind rule your heart, right?
Right. Absolutely. The heart is just an unconditional love center, core center of every human being. And it's tapping in, and I say unconditional, and that's the mind is conditioned, and that extends to the emotions. So the mind and the emotions are conditioned. Trigger responses and knee-jerk responses, and we have those things in the intellectual capacity as well. And it's really about transcending that, about transcending the mind, transcending the emotions, and allowing spirit to work through you. And I think that people, they want to think about that rather than experience the spaciousness or true unconditioned, I say unconditional love, because people understand love. They've experienced love. And so I say unconditional love, and having that be the core of your being, because it is. And of tapping into that and then creating from that place. And you will go farther. You will achieve more, and you'll have a much, much better time, much more relaxed time doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you do not have that much resistance to work against it. It flows.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. The three main hangups are resistance, judgment, and attachment.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And the anecdotes, which if you can find in your spiritual studies, I would think that most people these days, they know there is an unseen world. They know energy. You know, the paradigm changed with Einstein, right? Everything is energy. And so we've had generations now that are embracing the everything is energy paradigm. So they know there's an unseen world. So people are looking into this, and I think that people are now much more willing to look to their internal life, their inner life. And really, if you can key in on some contemplation, the antidote to resistance is acceptance. The antidote to judgment is compassion. The antidote to attachment is letting go, surrender. And you can find your way to those things quite easily. There's so much beautiful spiritual material out there, and you can be guided and directed to find what you need to come into a much more peaceful and relaxed way of being. And you can still go about your business, but you can do it with your whole being. And it's a beautiful place to be.
Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience today?
I want to share with your audience that I admire entrepreneurs. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time and am now a spiritual entrepreneur. And I admire people greatly who strike out on their own and have ambition and want to make a better world and want to make a better life for themselves. And so I say, you keep at it, you keep doing it. There is your way that will bring about great, great results for you.
Amazing. So last but not least, where can our listeners find you if they would like to connect with you or work with you?
I am on Facebook, my first and last name on Facebook. And that's really right now where I'm most connected. I will be expanding more, and you can find me there, message me there. You can also message me. You can also email me. My first name, Teresa, @newdivinehuman.com.
Awesome. Teresa, thank you so much for sharing your tips and wisdom with all of us today. I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Take care and talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for new episodes and more updates on my Feel the Magic Challenge. If you want to follow along and boost your energy and reduce your stress like I have, check out Magic Mind via the link in the description. You can get up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase with code ClaudiaG20. Let's see what 30 days of Magic Mind can do for you. I know we are all different, and what works for one person does not necessarily work equally well for somebody else. So I would love to hear your honest experiences. I'm confident that you will love the results. But even if you don't, there's no risk, since Magic Mind offers to refund 100%, no questions asked, for 100 days after buying. So enjoy. Thanks again for listening. Stay tuned and talk to you soon. Bye.